We need to talk about Drytron support, apparently. Wish upon a shooting star with new Drytron. Infinite Forbidden. So, as I said yesterday, we are in the middle of Infinite Forbidden reveal season. So I'm excited for it. We're gonna get like reveals of new cards regularly now. However, today we need to talk about something that I don't know how I feel about this, you know. Drytron is not my favorite type of deck. Because, you know, the combo deck tries to do a lot of unfair things. So I'm a little scared. I haven't read these yet. I have not read these yet, but there is apparently Drytron support coming in the Infinite Forbidden, which, I don't know, I can think of like 1,000 archetypes that I would rather have support for than Drytron again. But, here we are. So let's see. So we've got a new level 1 monster, a new main deck monster, Drytron new 2. Level 1 light machine, of course, and cannot be normal summoned or set like they all have, and the same stats as all of them, I believe. Must be special summoned by a card effect. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. You cannot ritual summon monsters the turn you activate either of this card's effect, except machine monsters. Okay, this restriction, I don't know how much this matters, but it matters a little bit, right? Because you can't like ritual summon Benton anymore. That is something they would do sometimes, right? You can't summon Benton back to tribute it again. You can't go into Herald of Herald of Perfection or Herald of Ultimateness. You can't do that either. Okay, so it is. I'm pretty sure you could still play it if it is really good, but it does matter. It does matter, I think. If there's a Drytron card on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand or graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is special summoned, you can add a Drytron monster from your deck to your hand, except Drytron new 2. Okay, so this one is actually different than the other Drytrons, because correct me if I'm wrong, but so far, how many Drytron main deck monsters are there? There's exactly 4 before this one, right? And they all work the same way. They all have this like tribute 1 to special summon. There's 5? Okay. Which one? Alpha, Zeta. Oh, but 1 sucks. Okay. Okay. Four that were being played. Okay. So this one works differently than the other ones, right? Because this one is not tribute 1 to special it, right? So it's more of a like an extender. Don't they have an emergency teleport to just special summon this from the deck? Isn't that they have Alpha Nova, Drytron Nova or whatever it's called? Does that thing negate the effect? Or can you just special this and add 1? That's pretty good. That's pretty broken. The fact that you can use the spell card to special this now and then search Alpha. That's pretty good. Okay. Okay. This card is pretty strong. However, I do like that they put a restriction on it, which makes it good, but not completely broken overall, I think. But it is a really good card. It is a really good card. I don't know how much it matters that we can't ritual summon except machines. But it means no Herald of Ultimateness, no Herald of Perfection, no summoning Benton to use it over and over and over again. So I'm a fan of that, at least. I'm a fan of that, at least. Okay, so we have Drytron Medionis equals dad. Oh, okay, that's a weird name. Why is it called Medionis equals dad? Does someone in the Konami R&D department have daddy issues or something like that? We just go like Medionis equals dad. Okay, well, I'm sure it's some wordplay probably. Yeah, it's short for something. December Alpha Draconids, whatever. I don't know what that means. It looks funny. Okay. Level 12 Light Machine Ritual Effect Monster. 5,000 attack, 5,000 defense. You can ritual summon this with Medionis Drytron. Other Drytron monsters you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Up to twice per turn, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can banish Drytron monsters from your graveyard whose total attack equal or exceed that monster's original attack. Negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. If this ritual summon card you control is destroyed by your opponent, you can special summon a ritual monster with 4,000 attack from your hand or deck. This is treated as a ritual summon. Okay. That is a pretty good boss monster. That is a pretty good boss monster that you can still summon, even if you lock yourself with this one. However, there's a few things I want to point out. 5,000 attack means you can't just summon it that easily, right? Because the way Drytron's ritual summon with the ritual spell that they have is you can detach from the Exceed monster instead, right? But the Drytrons all have 2,000 attack, so you can't just detach too. That doesn't work, right? It makes it awkward. You have to it's harder to summon than the ones that they already have. So that's worth pointing out. The other thing that's worth pointing out is that this second effect, at first, it reads incredibly strong because it's like a twice per turn negate a monster effect and destroy it, which is very, very good, right? However, having to banish your Drytrons from the graveyard also kind of removes all of your follow-up, right? Okay, you can banish the Exceed with no downside, right? You can banish the Exceed, that's whatever. But all the other Drytrons you want to keep in your graveyard, right? And so that is relevant, I think. So this card reads really strong, but I think the more you think about it, the more balanced it seems. Still not a bad card by any means, especially if you want to play this card up here. You have to find some good machine rituals to end on, right? And this might be one that you want to look out for. So that's good, but it's not. I don't think it's too broken. Meteor Aurora Drytron, continuous trap card. You can only use the first and second effect each once per turn. If a Drytron card becomes banished, you can tribute a Drytron monster, target up to 2 of your banished Drytron cards, add them to your hand. Okay. You can reveal a Meteor's Drytron in your hand, ritual summon a machine ritual from your hand or graveyard by tributing machine monsters from your hand or field whose total attack equal or exceed that monster's. Okay. How does Drytron search a trap card? None of them does that, right? The field spell? Oh, the field spell? That's not great. That's not good. I don't know. I mean, the card isn't bad, but it's a trap card that is very hard to search. The Drytron field spell isn't that great. Maybe you would play this as a one-of, but I don't have an issue with this card. I don't think this card is that strong. Earth's Arctic Drytron? Yeah, I don't know what that does. Doesn't the new level 1 also search it? This one, I think it said monster. Yeah, it says Drytron monster. Isn't the field spell just Nova? Yeah, I think most of the time you want to use your field spell to add Nova. There's a universe where you play 3 of the field spell because Nova is super important now with the new guy. But because if you already have Nova, you play 1 copy of this to search in case you draw field spell plus Nova. That is something I could see. But okay. But the field spell loses to Droll. I mean, the entire deck loses to Droll, doesn't it? I feel like most of the time that's gonna be an issue for you no matter what you do. But you're right, using the field spell to search Nova that would summon this, which is another searcher, isn't great, but yeah. Okay. So these cards are not bad. I think these cards are not bad. However, these cards are not as bad as I was like afraid of, you know, like you know what I mean? Like I don't think these cards are something to be terribly afraid of, mainly because the best out of the 3 cards by far is the main deck monster. That one is really good. However, it applies a lock onto the deck that I feel like maybe the deck should have had from the get-go. Maybe that's a hot take, but I feel like this is a lock that Drytron should have had from the beginning. Maybe it's not that hot of a take. That seems like a very lukewarm take. That is, and that's cool in my book, right? Like if they change if they change the deck in a way where they can't do a lot of the things that they used to do anymore, right? They can't summon Benten over and over again, can't summon Herald of Perfection, Herald of Ultimateness, that kind of stuff. I think that's a good decision, and so overall I'm fine with this support. It's solid support for sure, but it's not too broken, so I like that about it. Okay.